Hey railheads, welcome back to my Finger Lakes Railway layout. Remember this bare foam? Well, let's make it better. Now that's what I'm talking about, coming up on my Finger Lakes Railway layout. I'm using some drone shots, courtesy of Jim Cairns, for this build out. These photos are a huge help. Today on part 1, I'm doing Hemrod Central, which is the inner portion that I couldn't reach into for the scenery. So I lifted it out onto my workbench. I cut this center section in two and put the piece that I could reach back onto the layout. Now I've got a center section that I can work with on my workbench. I'll show you how I did the scenery and then set it back into place. Let's take a look at that prototype photo again. Now I've already got the yard done. What else is there here? Just fields and hedgerows. Exactly. This is the empty space that I want to model. I drew up a rough sketch based on my photos and taped off the roads, the fields, and the tree lines. Now for the fields, I spread this drywall patch on my foam and then dragged this little adhesive spreader along to make the furrows. I painted the dried fields with a gray wash and then glued some non-sanded grout down for dirt. I want to build up some layers here. I'm just brushing on some thinned white glue here. I should mention that I tried out that drywall patch process first on a piece of scrap foam just to make sure that it was going to work for me. And then it's my normal process of sifting the grout onto the glue. Want to stand upwind of that process if you're outdoors. And then I just secure it here with a spray of matte medium. Well, the grout is all down, and the next layer is the static grass. I use different lengths and colors for the different fields. And my trusty old Flocket rocket. I don't know if they even make these anymore. It seems to work better when it's plugged in instead of onto batteries. I think they're all like that though. Oh, you see that bigger sieve over there towards the right of the screen? I rubbed the grass through that first to get it nice and loose, kind of break up the clumps. Seems to work better. Looking at the different colors of the fields here one more time. It looks like some drainage issues in that bottom left piece. I'm going to try to capture that detail. I think that'd be cool. So I'm just using the same diluted white glue as before with the grout. Just let the grout dry, got the paint on it. Doing my next layer here. Got to be kind of patient with that static grass. Of course, you don't want it all to come out all at one time. I don't want it too heavy though either, because I want to be able to see the furrows in the fields. Oh, here's what I was talking about, sifting the grass to break up the clumps. Seems like some brands are worse than others for some reason. They're kind of like hard little balls. I know I went through a lot of frustration before I tried this. You don't want too fine a sieve either. You want the grass pieces to be able to go through it. Well, we're getting there now. You can see I've used a different color grout for the dirt roads here. Now I brought the centerpiece back inside and just laid it on the edge of the layout for now, while I add some more layers of ground cover. Here's a look at some of the next layers to go down. The brown bags came from Scenic Express. I'm just sprinkling a couple different colors of ground foam on this area. Now this is just an open scrub brush area down below the fields. Can't really see too much. This idiot's got his arm right in the way. I'll spray again with the matte medium. Using a different shade here, just going for random layers. I usually start with the finer textures and then work my way up to the coarser. And again, a couple different colors. The same diluted glue. This stuff is pretty cool. It has like little twigs in it and static grass and ground foam. It's just a nice mix. I decided to use a pipette on this coarser material for a little extra holding power. I have these grass tufts left over. I know you can make your own, but I'll use these up first. So you know the drill, random patterns, different colors, same glue. Rinse and repeat. Oh, here's a little piece of a super tree. I'll poke a hole in there and glue him in too. And now for a bigger super tree. This one looks okay. So I used to poke the hole for the tree and then put the glue on the tree, and then I couldn't find the hole I'd made. So now I leave my poker in the hole till I'm ready with the tree. Now this looks like another little scrap piece of super tree. I'll just dunk it in the glue and lay it down for a bush. These are Martin Welberg bushes from Scenic Express. He makes some really nice stuff over there in the Netherlands. If you're wondering what that bare slope is there, that'll be a ditch. It'll be built up with sculptamold and some ground cover. I'm a little out of sequence here, but I really wanted to get this in. I picked up this tip from Boomer Dioramas, the Immersive Model Railroad, a really cool YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it in the description. But this is a step that should be done at the end of your scenery process. This Tamiya Flat Earth XF52 thinned with alcohol kind of knocks off the high spots and blends everything together real nice. I ended up shooting this all over the grass areas too. So that's it for part 1. Subscribe if you want to, I'd appreciate it. And happy holidays. Hey, you know I tried a kit bash for a barn, but I didn't like it. So in part 2, I'm going to try a scratch build there where that blue tape is. Coming up next time on my Finger Lakes Railway Layout.